my fellow readers. My name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky, and it's Tuesday. It's a tag Tuesday. Today I'm doing the My Biggest Books tag that Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics put together. We've seen tags about mammoth books, books that have length over 700 or over 800 pages. People have been showing off their 900, 1,000, 1,200 page books and talking about those. This tag is not about that. It's about the amount of physical space the book takes up from in height and in width. So instead of length, we're focusing on the other two dimensions out of three. So Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics put this together. He tagged me. I'm going to start with, this is a book that I borrowed from a friend. I ought to give it back someday, maybe. This is Will Bagley's book about the Mountain Meadow Massacre. Is that the title? Massacre at Mountain Meadow is the name of it. For those of you who are not familiar with this event, there were some settlers coming into Utah who were not Mormon. They were attacked by Mormons, and a number of people killed in this battle. All right, this next one is one with quite a few photographs and some great text, and it's more like a coffee table book. A fellow YouTuber referred to these recently as adult picture books, and I said, I'm not going to let anyone know whether or not I have adult picture books. And if I do, I'm not showing them on my YouTube channel. So whatever you want to call it, if you want to refer to really pretty photographs that could just sit out on a table and be enjoyed as adult picture books, you can do that. I'm not going to tell you who said it. If that person wants to admit to the fact, they can. But I, keeping my lips sealed. And now onto the book. This is John Muir. There we go. My Summer in the Sierras. This is one that he published 18-something or something. But it has the original text, but then it has photographs by Scott Miller of the places that he's talking about. So here's a beautiful 2-page spread. I don't know how much you could see that, but just photographs, beautiful photographs taken all through the Sierras. Some of these are more abstract than others. But this is a really nice book. It does have pictures. It is for adults. I call it a coffee table book. John Muir, my first summer in the Sierras. All right, next, another in the Folio Society world. This is a bigger one. It looks, it's kind of more like the Heritage Press tends to do, which is one of the things I'm not sure if I like it about the Folio Society or not, is that they're not consistent in the size, you can't stack them on the shelf like you can, Yellow Daws or something. And that's okay. It's kind of an odd choice. Anyway, this is by Muriel Spark, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. I love this book. Such a great book. I got this edition for a really low price, but and I'm not sure, the illustrations are somewhat cartoonish, and I'm not sure how much I like them. But they're very well done. I'm just not sure how much they fit, or maybe they fit even better than I thought they did. I'm of a mixed mind on the illustrations in this particular Folio Society rendition of Muriel Spark. Let's look at another one. just for fun. Oh, big old 2-page spread. There we go. So anyway, there's another novel. So I've got a nonfiction memoir kind of thing by John Muir. I have a novel by Meryl Spark. I have a plain old novel. This is more of a traditional picture book, I think. This is Larry McMurtry's coffee table book about Custer. Larry McMurtry, of course, the author of Lonesome Dove, among many other things. The Last Picture Show. He wrote so many novels, so many great works. So yeah, so we get some. He's added this illustration that was made. Of course, there's a lot of text about Custer himself, the history parts. Here, I didn't take time to read the text, but here's pictures of a person who is probably related to Custer in some way or other. Here's another. I have not read this, but it is pretty. It has pretty pictures for adults. Oh man, this is amazing. This is an old one. Well, let me show you the cover first. The Grand Colorado. So this one, let me see if I can find the date that this was put out. Looks like this was put out in 1969. So the photographs will look somewhat dated, which I always think is pretty cool. The foreword and some of the articles are by Wallace Stegner, one of the great historians and novelists of the American West. Other contributors as well, but then also, I mean, there are a lot of this. There's pages like this, just text, fairly small print. But then we get a lot of photographs of the exploration of the Colorado River and the Colorado Canyon country. And oh, here's some nice drawings of rock formations. So oh, here we go. That looks like 1969, doesn't it? Yeah, a guy floating in the river. Anyway, another big book. Bigger than my head. Bigger than my hat. And the biggest book I have, similar to the Colorado River story, this is Tony Hillerman. Again, bigger than my hat. Tony Hillerman's book about the Southwest, just called Hillerman Country. So Tony Hillerman, who wrote, known best for writing the Joe Leaphorn and Jim Chee mystery series about Navajo police officers who solve crimes on the Navajo reservation. A great series of books. I love those. Tony Hillerman also wrote some history, but he also wrote some really good nonfiction. And this one is done, I think this is one that's done with his brother, Barney, who was a photographer. Yes, so this is, Tony Hillerman wrote the words, and his brother Barney supplied all the photographs. So you get this. And so many more that are, let's see if we can find another. Here's a Pueblo. Yeah, there we go. Fence, kind of an abstract in some ways. Anyway, and then this, of course, this, I don't know, sunset or sunrise on the cover is pretty amazing. So Tony Hillerman and his brother Barney Hillerman, and that's the stack that I pulled out of my biggest books. So thanks, Alan, for creating this tag. You can see more about how he did the tag and some of his books over at Big Hard Books and Classics. There have been a handful of people who've done it. Alan tagged the world, which is great, and I'm really happy to be part of it. So thanks for the tag, Alan, and I'll tag some people in the notes below. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, my name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky.